Welcome to ATB-TV. I'm Darren Dance here with Peter Morganti at a secret location in Ballarat. Now, Pete, I think you had a good idea earlier on.
What was that?
Your idea was that if anyone can recognise where we are, you're going to give them 500 cash.
Righto.
Okay? Now, I'll give you a couple of hints. I reckon everyone out there would like to be here.
Yeah?
Especially later in the afternoon.
In the evening?
In the afternoon.
Right.
All right?
It is a good little spot.
So let's see if anyone can come up with this location where we're at. And we'll let you know next week if you tune in.
I reckon I'm safe unless there's something in the background giving me away, but yeah, no, all good.
All right, Pete, let's go through last week's runners. I think there were 4 of them.
Yep.
Where do we start?
I was back to last Friday. You went to both races. We had Astrological kicking off her campaign at Bendigo, and at huge odds, Darren, she ran second.
50 to 1?
More, I think.
80 to 1 you got.
No, I didn't get anything. I didn't back her.
You gave an no.
I didn't know. I just gave her a little bit of a, she trialled well, sort of a mention.
Yeah, I've heard you trial well before. Look, she was outstanding. That was quite a strong maiden, wasn't it?
It was.
A bit of city form around there. And on the corner, when she was sort of travelling nice, I thought, oh, well, you know, if this was your first prep, you'd stop and drop out. But she's much bigger and stronger this time. And she battled on really well to run a good second to a very good horse, Pete. And yeah, you think if she can hold that form and improve off the run, yeah, it won't be long before she'll be winning her maiden. So I think all the owners breathed a sigh of relief because she had been trialling well, she had matured, and you know, she's well bred. So fingers crossed. I think she's closely related to Flippant, who ran second in the big race at Caulfield on Saturday.
Yeah, well, it's easy as the winner one. She beat the rest of the field as easy. So
$12 a place you got, they tell me. Had enough money to wash your car.
Yeah, that's about it. $1 on it.
And then I
you went to
zoomed back to Heathcote, picked up some steel, zoomed back to Berrenburg, unloaded, hopped in the car, got told on the way out by the lovely wife that I was no hope of making it to the race. I'm pleased to say that I walked in, got my tickets, walked into the yard, and the jock was just about to mount up. Every day this week, Pete, I've been to the mailbox. No speeding fines so far.
So far. Well,
how long do they take to come out?
Oh no, I've seen them turn up about 6 weeks later.
Yeah. It's going to be a long 6 weeks.
Trouble is, I don't see them because they're in Beck's name.
So the owners of Perugia, they weren't punting on whether he was going to win or not. They're going to punt on whether I was going to make it.
Well, you got
but
there.
I was pleased I got there because he won in outstanding fashion, didn't he?
He good ride, Brad Rawiller, box seat, used one the way you need to at the Valley. A couple of sort of the doors opened up for him, but I mean you had to have the horse there ready to go, and I don't know, he didn't have a think about it, but he took every little bit of Brad's guile to get him over the line, but he was a good strong winner.
Yeah, well, I thought he won well, and
yeah,
you know, fantastic win that race. Good Super Vobis money. Some great photos on Twitter and Facebook, wasn't there, with all the owners there?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I think everyone in the crowd certainly knew we were there that night.
No, it was a great win. That's 2 city wins now for him, and
it just takes 3 or 4 runs to find his form.
I think that's it, isn't it? He's obviously got he likes his tucker. He might take a little bit longer than most horses to get fit, but he's won over 100,000 now.
Amazing.
3-year-old, and they got some plans there for him, I see.
Have they?
There's either a rewardable 1700 metre benchmark 70, or he's going to be nominated for a Group 2 3-year-old race on Blue Diamond Day.
Really?
1800.
Blue Diamond Day, Pete. We might have some tickets Blue Diamond Day for the Perugia owners if they get there.
Well, that's a good point.
No doubt you're all over it.
Better tell Darren Weir to make sure he goes there so we can get rid of these tickets.
Well, we rented a super box for Blue Diamond Day, and as it happens, we do have a few tickets available, Peter. Yep. At I think they're $305 a head.
Yep.
All drinks, all food, all day, with great people like Liz and myself and you.
I'll turn up.
And
Mickey Mouse spot, corporate box. Oh.
Mickey Mouse. Where'd you pull that from?
Mickey,
the 60s?
Yeah. Well, a good venue. How's that? Is that better?
So if Perugia comes, we might be able to show you a ticket and come and spend the day in the super box on Blue Diamond Day with us.
Yep.
Anyway, we'll wait and see what unfolds there, Pete.
It's a big discrepancy, awardable benchmark 70 in a Group 2, but
I think we should nom and see what happens.
Exactly.
So on Saturday, Pete, you decided to go for a drive to the Yarra Valley. You haven't been there before?
No, flicked up the speed maps, 160 kilometres for an hour and a half, 2.5 hours later through the hills.
How'd you get there?
My car.
You drove?
Yeah.
Oh.
Why is that?
I thought you were towing the float.
No. they were going too early for me. They had a horse in race 2, and
You didn't want to get up early?
I thought I was there home by myself. I'd take the scenic route, and it was a scenic bloody route. But anyway, beautiful place when you get there.
Lovely.
But didn't have much luck in the run, Darren.
What happened, Pete? Tell me your side of it.
Well, for a
Then I'll
start,
tell you my side of
for
it.
a start, I thought we were going to be running midfield, and anyway, she jumped. And
This is Bloodlet, is it?
Bloodlet, sorry, yes, we ran 5th, and then the horses come across on the outside, 3 or 4, and we just ended up behind. Well, we ended up behind the leader, and stayed behind the leader
On the rail.
on the rail.
What odds was the
Well,
leader?
we're on the rail because the horse inside us didn't want to push forward, so we were just left there.
What odds was the leader, Pete?
One was 20s and one was 5s outside the leader. But you don't get a choice when they come across in front of you, Darren. That's my point.
Well, the favourite was 3 back defence, and he nicely got off at the 600 and peeled 3 wide and easily won the race with a very nice ride, I thought.
Well,
Jared Fry. Did you notice that?
I did, but just victim of circumstances.
But the bloke you put on,
What I put on?
the bloke you nominated, what was his name? Pete?
Jamie Mott.
Jamie Mott. He's a jumps rider, isn't he?
No, he's a flat
He
rider.
might have thought the rail was a hurdle. He could jump over it.
He was left in a no-win situation.
I liked his post-race. We were stiff.
he
He would have been stiff if I'd have been there, because I would have hit him over there with a stick.
He didn't hang around long, so should have won. But anyway, look, from all the bad negative side of it, she raced really well.
A win that got away.
Oh, well. So
A couple of
what-
the owners said he's going to be stiff when they see him.
Who's that?
Jamie Mott.
No, the owners I was talking about.
The ones that said
look,
it was a slaughter job.
when they come from around you, you don't actually have no choice to follow.
You're a jockey lover.
No, I'm not. I just
Come on, tell it how it is.
Actually,
Hey
at
guys,
the 500.
wait till when Pete's horse cops a ride like that.
No,
Let's see what
I
he
never
says
blow
then.
up. Never blow up. Never
That's
blow
not what
up.
your missus said. She said you've been blowing up a bit lately.
Righto. I got blown at. Forgot Valentine's Day.
Really?
That's another story. Anyway.
That's an American thing, Pete. We're Aussies.
Yeah, well, I thought Beck didn't like Valentine's Day either, but anyway, she did yesterday.
All right, so that was a disaster.
Yes.
Shocking ride, 1 out of 10. Pathetic.
We'll go to
Move on.
Stringer Balacolac. That was worse.
I thought the ride was all right.
No, the ride was all right, but the results sort of.
The track was always. He was going there for a day out, proved his fitness. Jockey got him on the fence, and the gun was no good. And even though he didn't get beat that far, he knocked up. And look, he's not going to do anything until 3rd or 4th run in.
And we always knew that.
And the owners knew that, and that's why he blew out in the market.
Yeah, we need to see a bit.
I don't know who backed him from 18s into 8s before he blew out.
Yeah, I noticed that. That was.
If you backed him and you're an owner, don't tell anyone. It's embarrassing.
Well, I told everyone, I think, in the pre-race that Weir's thing was
The favourite
over the
one.
line, yeah. Anyway, well,
So that was the week. That was all right. A first and a second, and a couple of
great
shocking
results,
rides.
I reckon. Yep.
Well, 2.
No,
2 slaughters, 2 outstanding. It's not bad.
Let's go to our races coming up. Saturday, we've got She's Our Star back.
Maybe.
Really, maybe I haven't.
Barrier 9.
Yeah, it's not a bad little race either.
Oh, mate, she's a group filly.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about it, but whether she's just fit enough to win over 1,050 from gate 9,
I'm surprised
That's
she
a
never had
question.
another trial.
Golan will decide. But I saw her the other day when I was up in Brisbane, and she looked magnificent. What a beautiful filly she is now. And I think she's one to follow this preparation.
Yeah, all right. Well,
Don't know if she'll run. If she does, she'll run on the speed, and that's how you have to run at Doomben. So
suits
if he's got her fit enough and he runs her, she'll be in the finish. If she doesn't win Saturday, she'll be winning very shortly.
very good. Sunday, Ballarat.
One runner.
Yeah, one now. We had Connery, but Archie's pretty keen to scratch. I think he's desperate to get this maiden win out of the road, not just for Connery, but for himself and George Charles. So he's looking at Warrnambool next Thursday,
Right.
1300. We will have My Shiny Choice run.
He was scratched from the wide gate.
Yeah, from Sandown yesterday, and he'll be from, I think, a nice barrier.
7.
1400.
Who rides?
Brad Rawiller.
He's in form.
If we can get some cover, that's the key to this horse.
Cover.
Cover.
3 back the fence.
3 wide with cover. 3 back the fence. If you can just get in anywhere, and I think Robbie's concerns are that, even from this gate, which doesn't seem bad, 7, but it can be tricky.
See, Robbie lives at Cranbourne. He doesn't know much about Ballarat, Pete, like he said earlier. What you got to understand here is that Ballarat is a leader-dominated track, so half the field will want to lead, and we'll just be able to slot in behind them somewhere. And then if we're good enough, we can peel out and run into it.
Just win.
So don't worry, Robbie.
Monday.
Doesn't get over the Westgate, does he?
No, he's in Tassie now.
Is he?
Yeah,
He's gone Robbie.
Big Bridge gone to Tassie.
Holiday.
Holiday, I think it's
Suppose the owners are paying, doesn't matter.
Magic Moon sales over there. Right?
Owners are paying.
I'm not buying in.
He's
Monday, race free Monday.
You say that every week.
I know.
It's not race free for us, Pete.
I know, but it's no racing, which is
No runners.
no racing. But we get double ups Wednesday and Thursday. Work it out.
We've got nothing Tuesday. We go to Wednesday.
Yep. Astrological.
Where at?
Kyneton.
Kyneton on a Wednesday. Is it a city race or country race?
No, there's double. There's
2 races.
Kyneton and Caulfield.
Astrological.
Yeah, draw a gate, 1100. Somewhere in the first 4 or 5, hard to beat.
No point me going now. He's tipped it. Can't win.
Well, you go to Caulfield.
What's in there?
Serious suspect, hopefully.
Wednesday.
Maybe.
That's your horse.
You go watch my horse. I go watch the Astrological.
You got to go and see your horse, Pete.
It's closer to Kyneton.
You got to go and see your horse. You're going to have all those owners there.
Yeah, I know.
You'll be half the crowd. No, you go to Caulfield. I'll go to Kyneton.
Well, they both got good chances.
So, they both ran good.
Yeah.
So let's start with Astrological. She will take improvement from that run first up. If she continues in that form and takes a few lengths improvement, she'll be hard to beat.
Oh, exactly. I mean, she probably doesn't have to improve much off it, but if she does, yeah.
So who'd you put on your horse, Serious Suspect?
Just left the winning rider on.
Who was that?
Brad.
Brad Rawiller. Gee, you love Brad now. 4 months ago, you were potting him.
You know I don't pot.
You'll send him his stats about how poor he was.
Well.
Anyway, she's got a great. He's got a great chance. He's in good form. What, a first and a third from 2 runs? He's got 400 owners.
Yeah, and Weary keeps picking these races out in town, so he must think he's
like
got
him.
A bit of ability. Yeah.
Yep. So you go to that.
So that's a 1264. So.
Righto.
And then Thursday is Connery, who we spoke about.
Connery,
if he goes to
Archie,
Warrnambool.
Alexander to Warrnambool. Is that the only runner? One
Yeah.
more runner. Well, I might have to go to Warrnambool.
Yeah, well,
Haven't seen the family for a while.
Well, our special guest might be next week from Warrnambool too, so I might have to go as well.
Yes, well, last week I asked Pete to do a little bit of work and see if he could catch up Brad Rawiller. And as Pete kindly pointed out earlier, it was always going to be a long interview. Take a look at this.
Here we go, guys. I'm at Camden Trials. I've caught up with Brad Rawiller, who's rode for ATB for a few years now, off and on. Brad, obviously probably tie you was one that branded and you had a real good run with him.
Oh, the was special ones. Yeah, certainly the Adelaide Cup when we finished third was frustrating.
I think you won about 14, you probably run 10.
I think at least.
Yep.
At least 10.
Just quickly, mate, obviously you're from a family background. Dad, mum, obviously brothers and sisters all in the racing game. How long have you been involved when you first start riding?
Yeah, well, my 2 older brothers were actually more more sort of horse over the horses early on. I was a computer boy.
Yep.
Loved being on computers. And anyway, it was either my 7th or 8th birthday that Dad bought me a pony for my birthday, and within a week I was carrying him up the road, and I should say her.
They loved it, obviously.
Yeah, and all of a sudden it was just, I never looked back then, and then in saying that as well, I was still pretty good at school, and Nash and Todd had become apprentices, and I was always, because I was doing well at school, Mum and Dad had always sort of said I was the one that was going on to uni. And anyway, then when I was 14, Nash was starting to really fire in town, and that was when I decided, I've got to do this. And,
loved it.
Yeah, loved it, and never looked back.
So that'd be 20 years ago, 20 more, I suppose.
Yeah, 94 was my first race ride. Yeah.
I've got here, truth be known, it's the first horse you rode.
Well, that's what it says on the racing.com, but I went to Kerrang on Boxing Day, 94, and he was my only ride. And Neil Jolly's dad actually got killed in a drag that morning, and so he didn't ride, and I picked up a horse called Blue Pants. Greg Hayes. Anyway, he was actually my first ride.
Right. All right, mate, it's been a long career. We just touched on the start and all that, and you've been to the top in regards to riding Group 1 winners. I've got here Nick and Hero as your first Group 1 winner.
Yeah, yep.
And, but the horse we probably remember your association with was Weekend Hustler. I think you rode 10 of his 12 wins.
Yep.
7 Group 1s with him?
7 Group 1s and a couple of the Group 2s that he won are now Group 1s. So he was really amazing horse. You got people, because it was the EI time, it sort of it seemed to sort of stay in him that it was a bad lot of horses at the time, but I'm telling you, he was the best miler in the world at that stage. And you know what, Ross McDonald copped a lot of criticism for going to the Caulfield Cup, but you know, look, that wasn't the reason why he broke down in the Australia Stakes, and yeah, it was certainly sad. He tried to get back, but it was just, in the end, it was basically bone on bone in a fetlock, and you couldn't get him back to his best.
But fair to say, it was a fair banner horse for you back in the time.
Yeah, like I say, when the following we had was just unbelievable.
Other great horses, obviously you won the Caulfield Cup on Feud for Bart. I don't know the story with the Melbourne Cup. Was that a weight thing, you couldn't make it, or was it pre-arranged?
So he won the Melbourne Cup viewed the year before.
Oh, was it the year before? There you go.
And
dancing beyond me now, not doing the history.
I fluked the ride. I was at ride and work for David Hayes, and in August, just one morning, Reggie Jennings, or Reg Fleming, come up and asked me, can you just jump this horse out, do a jump out for me? And it's funny, it was only a half-mile trial, and he just said, just go 400 metres and pull him up. Yeah, sweet, no worries. And it was exactly as he said, and he said that was perfect. And he felt, you know, like he was a star. He was his horse, just won the Melbourne Cup. And anyway, just a couple of weeks later, I trialled him again, and again, just give him exactly what that trial they were after. And anyway, then first up, I actually had Phil and Reddy in Sydney in the Golden Rose, so I couldn't ride him first up.
And you won the Golden Slipper on Phil and Reddy?
And Viewed was first up in, I think, the Memsey. And he drew barrier 1 or 2, Noel Keller rode him, and he banged him out and had him in the box seat and ran 5th, like ran really good, but they were filthy because it wasn't the ride. All they cared about was the Melbourne Cup. So just somehow I fluked.
The Cup ride, Caulfield Cup.
Well, there was about 3 runs in between leading up to it. I was never ever on him in the Melbourne Cup. It was just, or the Caulfield Cup. It was just, at the time, I was suitable for his prep runs, and every ride was just exactly how Bart, you know, was wanting. He kept finishing off building, and he was an amazing horse. But then when we won the Caulfield Cup, which was outstanding, he was in the McKinnon on the Saturday, and anyway, I just had him going that well. They slowed up to even time at the 1400 in the McKinnon, and he just dropped a bit, no worries, and it was a 100 to 1 chance behind me. He's just ran straight up his backside. For 50 metres I was on 3 legs, and I thought it was all over. I was half nearly crying, you know, thinking I can win a Melbourne Cup on the Tuesday. And anyway, I got back and he actually got stripped behind, but and he still ran 3rd that day. I was soft on that straight up. I was just thinking this horse shouldn't be able to gallop here. And anyway, then he went to the Melbourne Cup and pulled, and just was all out of whack because of what happened on the Saturday.
Just another, obviously, you know, in more recent times, Blackheart Bart's been a fantastic horse for you, and he's obviously backing around now. I think you won 4, maybe 5 Group 1s.
Won 5 Group 1s on him, and as tough as they come, he's just a war horse at the end of the day. He's just, and it's been frustrating the last sort of 6 months, 6 to even 12 months, because he's just had these niggling.
I suppose a lot of that frustration bore out in that race at Perth, where it looked like you were going to win it and didn't quite.
Well, what happened? I mean, at the end of the day, he went there. We had to miss the spring to get him right, and we got to Perth and we had him right, and he showed that with his running the railway. It would have been so good if we could have won that day, but it was sort of so perfect anyway, leading into Kingston Town, and so everything was as you could ask. And what happens? You virtually got put out of the race after 100 metres, so that hurt a bit.
We're here at the trials, and a big part of your racing life has been Darren Weir. Obviously, you've been involved for, well, at least a dozen years I know of, and I think you've rode 2,500 winners career. Well, that's by racing.com, and I would say probably have to be 25 or 30% of those with Weir. Would that be close?
Well,
500 or 600?
I'm over 500. I think it's probably 550, and I think I've 2,650 winners I've got all up. So certainly, 20% at least.
So obviously not a bad bloke to have backing, especially in the last 4 or 5 years where he's climbed the ladder from great country trainer to one of the best in the world.
Absolutely, it works both ways.
Actually, exactly, yes, no, for sure. Just in recent times, fair to say it's just been a little bit of a struggle for the Brad Rawiller we know. Like, is that any issues? Is it a weight thing or combination of a few things or just opportunities?
Yeah, look, so basically what happened, I just, my spring carnival was all focused around Bart, Bart, and obviously he went, you know, when a miss at that, obviously what I just said, but you know, I had 3 suspensions in a row, which really hurt me sort of getting outside rides, and then we got to December, and because of Bart then being in Perth, I was spending a lot of time over there and didn't really ride much back here. And it just sort of went down and that I was out of form, but at the same time it had nothing to do with it, just I wasn't riding. And then, you know, it certainly, I did struggle for the first sort of part of January, just trying to get things going again. And my wife Carolyn's been my manager for 6, 7, 8 years, you know, for a long time, and just I needed a change to be able to get the phone wasn't ringing anymore, so to speak, and so I just we needed to freshen it up. And it was actually Carolyn that said, I think you should change it, and so I got Adrian Coyne, and anyway, my last 2-3 weeks, pretty sure I've ridden more winners than anyone in Australia.
Well, I know we've benefited from having you at Kyneton and places like that where you normally might have been in town. I know a couple of hours, Serious Suspect, and you know, Little Fox Largo, so we're so happy with it, but we'd be happy if those horses headed to the city and you're on as well. So obviously, you know, with Weary, there's a lot of travel into trials. You do a lot of miles, and I mean, you're a real team player in that part. I mean, I get in film a lot of them. There's not many trials where you don't go to. How does all that work? Is it, you know, a week out, 2 days out, 3 days out?
It
varies.
Yeah, it can vary a little bit, but you usually work on a Tuesday and a Thursday. But just more recently, it's been mostly on the Thursday. So I try not to take rides. And I've got these days because it's so. You know, like it's fine going through them, but when you ride 19 or 20 and you've got a long drive home, geez, you don't be bored when you do get home. You know?
I was going to say, and obviously it's a big effort for you to get to the races. Obviously you've got to waste, watch what you eat. You wouldn't get too many blokes travel with you in the car, would they? Who you're on?
That's one thing that never happens is I have any company driving or to and from the races. Oh, usually me and Frosty or Dave Lane always come to these trials and we share it up, which is, you know, a big help for both of us. But certainly the races, I can't remember the last time I had anyone in the car with me. So.
Just touch on family, obviously wife Carolyn and two young, lovely young kids. They bring everything back into reality when you have a tough day at the races.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, that's you know, you can have the hardest day and just be cursing the world, and then when you get home and walk in the door, kids, they come running and daddy, and you know, look, all smiles, and you just think, sometimes life's not, you know, it's not as hard as what you think.
I'm going to say, we get all these couch potatoes and keyboard warriors, and they know nothing but the quick dig of blast. And I know sometimes you have a hard day, you walk in, the little girl goes, Dad, you're home, and then you forget about everything. So I can appreciate all that. And lastly, before we go, you're a mad Richmond supporter. I know we got a lot of supporters there. Last year you must have been just hitting a bit.
Special. Yeah.
And you went to the game?
Well, I didn't take rides. It was Mornington that day, so I could watch it. But because I had Black Up Art and Scales of Justice in 2 Group 1s, you know, look, it's more than just going and seeing the grand final. There's so much before and then after it. It's a long day, and I just knew that I had to still be focused on it. But I watched it many times against us and been able to have a proper drink and watching a replay.
Beautiful. Just on that, obviously, food, and I don't like bringing it up. Favourite foods? Scotch or something when you can get into it?
Yeah, I mean, definitely my favourite food's probably crayfish or lobster.
Oh, yeah. Good diet food.
Drink-wise? And drink-wise, Bacardi and Zero Cokes, basically the drink that I always get myself,
Beautiful. All right, Brad, thanks for your time. Hopefully our owners out there can appreciate that there's a person behind a jockey, and we don't always see it, and we love having you on our horses, and hopefully now that we've just got back into another role as winners there with ATB.
Yeah, we've had a very good recent run, and obviously them horses are still on the up, so exciting times.
Good on you. Thanks, Brad.
Cheers.
Right, a book, shouldn't he?
Yeah, he'd have a good story, Brad.
I reckon he's got a good story.
He's done it hard.
Underrated rider.
Of all his family, he wanted to be, like he didn't want to be a jockey, he just wanted to get into accountancy. So that soon changed when they bought him a little pony, jumped on, and that was it, never looked back.
He loved it.
Rode about 20 Group 1 winners, he's rode as you've seen, he's rode the...
Why don't you tell the viewers about what you wanted to do with your career when you were a kid?
Well, it wasn't to be a jockey.
Wasn't to work for ATB.
I didn't know ATB, I probably wasn't around.
You know what I reckon Pete would have been really good at?
Here we go.
One of those consulant diplomats.
Diplomat?
You know, you just get on with everyone, you try not to upset anyone, and you just agree with everyone. And you know, you're just a generally nice guy that goes to work and gets all your food and grog for free and just really lives the luxury life.
A couple of emails during the week, whip that about.
Yeah, there might be a couple of others out there that don't agree, Pete.
We'll see, we'll get the feedback from
But I
the
reckon,
others.
do you think Pete would have made a great diplomat? Foreign Affairs Minister or something? You would have sorted Trump out. You would have had them all living out of your hands.
Yeah.
That's how I picture you. Pete the diplomat.
I
reckon that'll stick.
Is that a high-paid job?
Oh, mate. Big
Well, I'm going to have
rocks.
to be very diplomatic
rocks.
with this new syndicate in French Fizz that I've got.
Yes, you got a few
20
ladies hanging
ladies.
around. Are they all ladies?
Yes, they're all ladies. Beck's actually running the syndicate, of course.
Yeah, Beck's in
By
charge.
name, so she's in charge. She's very happy about that.
All right. Well, look, we'll wrap that up here.
Yep.
Good week, and we've got some good chances coming up. And next week, we'll get down to Warrnambool. We're going to catch up with a new trainer for ATB, an up-and-comer, young Daniel Bowman.
Hasn't put one saddle on one for us yet, but he couple heading
Got
down
his first
way.
horse last week.
Yep,
And,
another one to come.
he's come out of that training school of DK Weir.
Yeah, he had two and a half years there as a foreman at Warrnambool.
Had a winner at Moonee Valley last Friday night, I
Yeah, he
think.
did. What is he?
Daniel
Rod
Bowman.
and Todd or something. So yeah, no, he's going well.
So we'll look up to catching up. Look forward to hearing Daniel Bowman's story and his lovely wife, Danita, who was partly responsible for saving my life a number of years ago.
Yeah, and obviously Darren Weir's niece and runs a good office, Darren. We won't have no trouble with feedback and reports from
I think
that
her
office.
updates will make yours look pretty second rate.
All right. She'll help me out, I reckon.
Well, that's a wrap for ATB-TV this week. I'm Darren Dance here at a secret location with Peter Morganti. 500 cash if you work it out.